Welcome to the Moving Past You radio show, a show about identifying, confronting, and embracing the obstacles that block and delay us in walking in our divine purpose. Each week, we delve into the complexities and rewards of walking in your purpose. Now, here's your host, Juanita Gaynor.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another amazing show. As I have been saying, season 4 has gotten off to an amazing start. And what I mean is that God has blessed to have so many amazing women who are walking in their healing journey, who have gone through their healing journey, and they're sharing their experiences of that journey to give you some tips and tricks about how you can move forward in your healing journey into your purpose, providing your self development. And so I have an amazing woman that will be joining us on this evening. And when I say I enjoyed our initial conversation, it was just that instant match. And I just knew that you would love what she had to bring and that you would be touched and motivated just like I was. So you're wondering who's this person? Who do you have on this evening? So I have Miss Sharon Sammy on this evening. She is a manifesting abundance mentor and an intuitive healer. And we're going to be discussing today the journey of self-discovery and healing. Now, y'all know me. I'm very, into going through this process because I feel it will manifest so many great things in your life. So to have someone who has done the work and is doing the work and is helping others do the work is amazing. So let's learn a little bit more about Sharon. Sharon's a wife and mother of 2 beautiful earth angels, and I have seen them. They are so gorgeous. I'm a kid girl, so they're gorgeous. She has a 20-year background in the UK banking world. Now, for my girlies who out there listening, you know I'm an accountant, so you know she has a near and dear place to my heart. She's about making sure we are in place to get what we need to get. See, alongside her banking career, she ventured into the personal development world over 17 years ago, taking part in an amazing fire walk. Throughout her journey, Sharon worked on overcoming her limiting beliefs, self sabotaging tendencies, and fears of failure. If anyone knows me who has watched me, y'all know that that is the foundation in which I work with you. So you already know that this is going to be fire. Her quest for personal growth led her to become a highly trained practitioner in various healing modalities, including traditional Yushi Reiki healer, master teacher, and I hope I did not butcher that. Angelic Reiki healer, master teacher, advanced theta healing practitioner, licensed NLP master practitioner, and certified coach. Not stopping there, she also became an infinite possibilities trainer, a strategic intervention coach, and recently added mental fitness coach to her list of qualifications. And I know some of you listening, y'all need some mental fitness, tips. Y'all do. Because I've talked to some of you. I love y'all, but y'all need to kind of get it together. With a natural psychic medium ability and a knack for manifesting, Sharon has successfully created her dream life, achieving remarkable feats like winning a brand new car, landing a dream role in the UK TV soap, marrying her soulmate, and living in a brand new showroom dream home. Additionally, she co authored a book on Amazon called Wild Wise Women, which became a #1 bestseller. Sharon chose to leave the corporate world at the beginning of the decade to pursue her passion as a manifesting abundance mentor and intuitive healer. Her mission is to empower women to enhance their earning potential and live authentically, following their purpose driven, fulfilled life paths towards creating an abundant legacy. As the creator of the Manifesting Abundance Blueprint, Sharon designed a system to activate the 9 essential keys for unlocking and attracting prosperity and wealth from within, encompassing all areas of life. She firmly believes that life is what you make it and embraces the ideas that anything is possible. So, everyone, welcome Sharon to the stage with me. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so happy that you are here. Like I'm happy that when we had our conversation you said yes. And
Yeah.
again, that you embody what I be working on with not only my clients, but my listeners and just friends in general, even in my own walk. It's like you're doing that work, and I love it. So what I want you to do is
Thank you.
tell the world a little bit about you from your mouth. Like I've read your bio, but I want to hear it from you. Like, what makes you go this on this evening? Now this is 7. So you're in the UK, so I know that this time is a little crazy, and I
Yeah,
appreciate you doing this time.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. So, as mentioned, I'm Sharon Sammy. I'm from the UK. I'm a wife and I'm a mother of two beautiful Earth angels. And the reason I mention them is because my highest value, my number one value in life is my family. I was in the UK banking world for about 20 years. And throughout that journey, I've had the ups and I've had the downs, which no doubt we're going to speak about today as well. But throughout that journey, I started my personal development 17 years ago. So 3 years into my banking journey. And it was life-changing. It was absolutely phenomenal. And then along the way, I got married almost 11 years ago. My husband proposed to me on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th at 11 minutes past 11. He likes the number 11. It's also angelic as well. And I said yes. So from there, I had my two beautiful Earth angels. And I'm just loving life. I left the UK banking industry just at the start of the pandemic and never looked back. As a manifesting abundance mentor and intuitive energy healer, like you mentioned, I strongly believe life is exactly what you make it. Tomorrow is not promised to any one of us. So it's about living your best life today, reaching your true greatness, where, as you mentioned, I always say anything is possible. And, it's possible for me and it's possible for all of you listeners out there. And you can really achieve that true greatness, overcoming the fears, the limitations, those barriers, the internal critic, and just, reaching for the things that you've always ultimately desired. So that's really what I'm all about.
Awesome. Awesome. That's amazing. And I'm going to jump right into it because you said you made that transition, the full transition right before, right around the pandemic. And I want to go into that because I think the pandemic was a turning point for so many people. Like, how did you not only make that transition, but, leveraged it to get to a higher level than what you were at that point?
Yeah, I think for me, it was like a build-up. So even before the pandemic, it was a huge build-up. And, even you listening out there, you've probably, it's that feeling inside where you just ask yourself that one question. Am I happy doing what I'm doing, like each and every day? You get out of bed and just think to yourself, do you get out of bed feeling inspired, feeling motivated, feeling so, inspired about the day going forward? Or do you jump out of bed and you just think, oh, it's the Monday blues. I've got to do all of this again. My whole life is such a routine, and you're kind of in that survival mode. And, and you kind of get to that point where inside you just know, you've got so much more potential. You're playing small. And this was exactly me, a build up, my banking career, don't get me wrong, it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. But as I continued throughout my life and I had some key turning points, like I got married, I had my beautiful children. And when I was on the maternity leave, I had time off work and I really sat there, mindfulness in that moment and thought to myself, am I happy doing what I'm doing? After my maternity leave is over, I'm going to be going back to the corporate office, working 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, seeing my children in the evening, doing the whole bedtime routine, not having time for myself. Is this really how I want my life to turn out to be? Is this my whole life mapped out in front of me? And this is, facing reality of the situation, being really open and honest to yourself. Are you truly happy with the direction that your life is going into? And it is bold. You do have to be courageous. You do have to, it's about stepping outside that comfort zone and being realistic to yourself and being real. And I sat there in that moment and I can remember thinking, no, I don't want my life to continue to be like this. So when you make that decision, and as Anthony Robbins says, it's in the moments of your decision that your destiny is shaped. I'm getting all tingly, but it's that like individual quote when I started my personal development journey 17 years ago, and I started at UPW, Unleashing the Power Within with Tony Robbins. And it was that quote that I thought, it's in the power of your decisions that your life changes, your destiny changes. And sometimes we have to be bold. We have to be courageous and make that decision. Am I happy leading the life I'm leading, or does something need to change? And for me, something needed to change. So because I had that realization, I went back to the corporate office, and yes, I was in the corporate office for another 3 years. Okay. So it didn't happen overnight, click of the fingers. It was a build-up. It was gradual. But because it was gradual, it gave me time to really think about things, really feel into, okay, what's my limiting belief? What is stopping me from making the change, the transition? What is holding me in this safe and secure job? And that was it. Safe and secure, that monthly income, the monthly paycheck coming in, the safety, the security of having that job, compared to leaving, becoming a manifesting abundance mentor, an intuitive energy healer, working for myself, being an entrepreneur, doing everything for myself. So it was that kind of that security aspect. And you can just see one of my earth angels running across. And this is it, because as a mom, as a business owner, it's just being that, being flexible and just going with it, and this is exactly what I did in the pandemic as well. So as a manifester, I literally put out to the universe, if it's my time to go, I'm ready. I worked on myself. I worked on the limiting beliefs, that safety, the security, the confidence was a key thing. Am I confident to make that step, to leave the banking world, to become an entrepreneur, to stand up on my own 2 feet, to do it for myself? And when I got to that point with all of the healing, with all of the overcoming my personal limitations, just before the pandemic was the right time for me. So I left the banking world in January 2020. Never looked back. So even though with the pandemic, with all of the lockdowns and things like that, for me, it opened up my clientele because everybody was at home in lockdown. And it was then helping people through their personal limitations. So, it's about, if you're on that journey of self-discovery and you really feel you've got so much more potential, being bold, definitely.
Awesome. I love that, because I think what it is like sometimes we know we want to make a change and we just don't, because we're like, I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so many of us don't go through and do the work of, identifying what's holding us back. Now, I want to pose one question to you, and I think you spoke on it just a little bit, and I just want you to go a little bit deeper in it. Like, I want you to explain and really hone in on why honesty and transparency is very important in this process to begin the process of healing and going throughout the obstacles and walking into the purpose of what you were divinely, able to do. Like, what is that? How does really that play in the importance of it?
Yeah, totally. So first of all, as you say, you've got to be open and you've got to be honest with yourself, because if you're not, you're just going to basically be continuing to live that mediocre, and I call it mediocre lifestyle, which means showing up each and every day. You're happy, you're satisfied, but are you fulfilled? And are you actually reaching your truest, highest potential? Do you know you've got so much more within you to give? And if you're playing small, it's about being open and honest. And yes, it's going to be like, you're going to have the fears come up, you're going to have the confidence constraints come up, that internal critic, the devil on the shoulder, I call it, that says, you can't do it. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You're not good enough. Look at everybody else. They're so much better than you. Who do you think you are? You know, the imposter syndrome. I had all of that come up. But then it's a case of stopping and thinking to yourself, you know, that angel on the shoulder comes up, which is your higher self, you know, that intuition, tapping into your own intuition and delving in, listening to the whispers. And that's where the openness, the transparency, and the truth comes out. Do you deserve more in your life? And if that answer is yes, and if you've got that complete conviction that you want to change your life, you know you've got so much potential. Yes, there's the fears. Yes, there's the doubts. The inner critic keeps coming out to play to stop you. You know, you feel like you're walking one step forward and then you only need to go 3 steps back. But being open and honest, first of all, and saying, yes, I deserve so much more. Yes, I'm playing small and I want to reach my highest and truest potential. Yes, let's move forward. When you've got that open honesty in your life, then you can start from that point. You can start to progress. And I call it, you can start to fly. It's like the caterpillar with the butterfly notion.
Yes.
You know, you're starting off and then all of a sudden your wings start to develop. You know, you start to work on your limitations, your personal, you know, limitations, your fears, your doubts, your concerns. And I'm going to be honest with you, they never go away. Because as you progress to a level, you've got more doubts, more insecurities, you know, more lack of confidence that comes up. And then you keep building on it. It's like you build the foundations, the building blocks, and you keep building upon it. And you keep up leveling. But the first thing is you've got to be open and honest to yourself to say, yes, I deserve more. Yes, this is what I want. And then you go for it. You go for it because you're so determined and you're so passionate. You've made that decision. Like I said, it's in the moments of your decision that your destiny is shaped. That has been life-changing for me alone. So if you take nothing else, take that quote because once you make that decision in a heartbeat, then you can move forward. But you have to be open with yourself. Move away from your fears. You can work on your fears. You can definitely work on your fears. And then you can fly like the butterfly. And you can choose the colors. You know, you've got the palette. You've got every single color going in your paint, you know, your paint. You've got every single shade. And you can actually design the life, the canvas, design the life on your terms. And you can manifest your true greatness. And I do keep coming to that because I strongly believe it.
That's awesome. And especially, I love how you made a statement that the fears and the things never go away. They just, you get them at newer levels. Because I think
Yeah.
so many times people think that once they get to this great level that they've built in their mind, that everything is going to be perfect. And it was just like, well, no, that's when greater, you know, because now you have to, you know, build that additional
So,
foundation because you've built on this one and like you've gotten this greatness and you got to build you know, more to the foundation because you're going to keep going higher and higher. Now, you know, for some people, if they're okay there, then that's fine. But to, you know, achieve more greatness, there's still going to be times that you're fearful and time that you may doubt or whatever, but
yeah.
you can't let it limit how you move
Mm-mm.
forward, you know.
Mm.
And so with
Yeah.
that, let's say we have someone who is, say, kind of in like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They want to change, but they don't quite know how to walk through and do whatever. How What kind of strategies, what kind of tips can you give them to get to the start the process to get to that point where not only do they know they should know that they need more, but now they want more? It's like at the tip,
Yeah.
but they're stuck. How would you walk them
Yeah.
through that particular process?
Yeah. Yeah. There's two folds to that question, first of all. Well, actually, no, there's three folds. if I
Okay.
can
Well,
if I can remember this. Okay, so I'm going to go through that. Okay, so first of all, okay, it is about having that clarity, like you said. Okay, having that clarity. So what does that mean, having the clarity? Well, it means, first of all, looking holistically at all areas of your life. Okay, all areas of your life. So from self, your relationship, your career or your business, your financial income, your health, your wellness, your personal development, your spirituality, charity, for example, looking at all areas of your life, then it's a case of determining, okay, in my career, as an example, am I happy with my career or business right now? Yes or no? Okay, to what degree? Is it more as a no, more of a yes? So having that clarity and then going beyond that, okay, just taking career and business. So if you're feeling, okay, well, 50-50, 5, I'm okay with my career, but I'm not okay, or your business, and there's so much more, but there's something could be holding you back, like you said. Sorry about my earth angels as well, but this is just the entrepreneur mommy life. Yeah. So yes, you've got that 50-50. And then it's a case of, okay, well, what is your true purpose? So this is number 2. What is the reason you want to advance your career or advance your business? What is the reason? Now, it could be monetary. Okay, just as an example, it could be that you want to earn more money. So when you say you want to earn more money, what does that mean? So it's questioning and it's digging deeper into your purpose. So if you say to yourself, yes, I want more money, what is money going to give you other than the tangible money aspect? What is it going to give you? Is it going to buy you the choices, buy you the particular lifestyle? Okay, well, that's great. But what is that lifestyle and what are the choices going to give you? Is it going to give you the time freedom to go and enjoy yourself, go traveling, spend time with your partner, spend time with your children? For me, my number 1 was basically, yes, I want to earn more money. But the reason was, when I delved deeper into the purpose and the reasons for it, was that I want to take my children to school. As simple as that. I want to drop them off at school with my husband, and I want to be there to pick them up from school, listen to them, them running from the gate of school, hugging me, kissing me, talking to me about their day. I wanted to be there for them. So I wanted that time freedom. So it's ultimately understanding, first of all, what it is that you want in all areas of your life. Like, where are you right now? What is the purpose? Yes. Then it's going to come to the confidence aspect, which is the number 3, because it is all about having that confidence. Because if you're like 50-50, do I do something? Do I not? The fears are there, because I've been there. The fears were there. They were huge. Imposter syndrome. Who am I? I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. It's not the right time. The security of the paycheck, it's going to stop you. But then having the purpose, knowing why it is that you want to advance in your career or your business, that's what's going to drive you forward. And then it's the confidence aspect, like I mentioned. Okay, so what's going to help you to step outside the comfort zone to really reach that true greatness? Now, confidence, we weren't born with the confidence, but we can learn to have more confidence. And that's a whole process and a whole talk altogether about confidence. But in a quick nutshell, it's about, first of all, for me as well, it's about looking at your past, your experiences. Okay, when was there a time that, for example, you had a new job? Just as an example, because in your life, listening out there, is it true to say that you've probably had more than one job in your whole entire life? You've progressed, and look back. How was the job interview? You passed, you got through the job interview. You advanced, you up-leveled. And then you could have had another job and then another job, whatever it was, you advanced over the years. And I'm talking from going back to even when you were 16, even when you were 20, to where you are now. How many jobs did you have? Look back at your past experiences. You were successful in the job interviews. And even if you weren't, I had job interviews where I thought I'd mastered, and then I got the phone call, sorry, you didn't get the job. But then I always feel, number 1, it's a learning. Okay, it's a learning. You fail forward. Okay, so it's not a failure. You learn and you walk forward. And number 2, everything is in divine timing, because I've always felt that any setbacks I've had, particularly I can think of in my earlier years, I had a job interview. I really wanted the job. I was fantastic at the interview, went, and then I got the rejection call, and you feel like your whole life is like turned upside down. But then turn the other way, walk forward, learn from it, go to another interview. And then within a small space of time, I got that interview, which was in banking. So had I have got the first interview, the first job, which was retail, I probably would have been a retail sales assistant and not successful in banking, And I always believe things happen for a reason. So having the confidence is looking at your past experiences, looking at where You had the successes, even the failures. What did you do as a result? Because you are where you are today from your past experiences. So just remember that, because when you're walking forward, you're going to be the future person based on where you are at the moment. So if you do have high ambitions and you do know you want to reach your full potential, what are you doing about it today?
That's amazing, especially with the
Thank you.
divine timing, because I think so many of us, we have grown up in this microwave where they expect everything to just happen instantly,
Yeah.
and sometimes we get rejected for our own protection, because sometimes we want something that divinely wasn't meant for us to move through. He's just like, no,
Yeah.
just wait a little bit longer. I have something that's better, but we want this. And he's like, no, I'm not
Shall
going
I
to
give
let you
you an
have it.
example? Yeah. Shall I give
Yes.
you an example of that just quickly?
Yes.
Because it's something that's springing to mind. So I'm going to give you an example. Basically, I was in the banking world 3 years into my journey into banking, and I loved it with a passion. And then I had that moment where I've just said to you previously, I had that moment where I stopped and I thought, if anything was possible for me, what is possible? And my higher self, that angel on the shoulder, came up and said to me, if anything was possible, get into TV, get onto TV. And then obviously I had the doubts and the concerns of the devil on the shoulder, you know, the inner critic saying to me, you can't do that. You've got a banking degree. There's no way you can do that. And then long story short, because I could talk about this for days, but long story short, I then decided to take the inspired action, which is number one. It's key, because once you've made a decision, you've been open and honest to yourself in terms of what you want to do, what is the purpose, you know, building on that confidence, you need to take the inspired action. So I took the inspired action by my childhood dream to be on TV. I contacted TV agents in the UK. They said to me, send letters, you know, send all your credentials. And I didn't have any credentials. I had a banking degree. You know, I had no credentials. So I sent these tailored letters, over 50 letters with stamped addressed envelopes. And this was years ago. So, you know, probably even at the start of emailing. So I wrote handwritten letters or typed them up, posted them out. So there was no emails posted. Well, there probably was, but I chose to post them.
Right.
And then after a few weeks, letters started arriving and I got super excited. I was like, yes. And then I opened the letters and it was like, thanks, but no thanks. You don't quite meet our criteria. You're not our requirement. Thanks, but no thanks. And as you can imagine, like when you get so many rejections, you get deflated, you get disheartened, you get, you know, going to the bottom of the emotional scale, you know, the sadness. It's a bit like grieving, you know, the sadness, the anger, the frustration, all of that stuff. But then I soon snapped out of it. It's in the moments of your decision that your destiny is shaped. Remember that, because it was life-changing for me as it can be for you. Click of the fingers, you know, change your mindset. So then I approached it when I got the letters coming through, and I sent over 50 letters. So bearing in mind, this was over a few weeks. Letters were coming through and I was just smile on my face. Thanks, but no thanks. Rejection, 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 rejection. Okay, I was feeling a bit like, should I have gone back into banking? Have I made the biggest mistake of my life? But this is where you have to believe in yourself, fail forward, learn, you know, have that positive frame of mind. So even though I was getting the rejections, it's manifesting as well. Act as if, okay? So I'm taking you another tangent here, another step up, acting as if. So then I started having those feelings of, yes, I can do this, you know, that inner confidence. Yes, I'm going to get this. You know, obviously a little fraction of doubt, but the positivity was bringing me forward. And then, long story short, after 3 weeks, I got that letter, ripped it open, no expectations, because I kind of already knew what was going to happen, like a no. Open that letter, but I was acting as if, okay, and that higher energy, that higher vibration was overpowering everything. I opened that letter and guess what it was? Yes, it was a yes. Awesome. It was like, yes, I want to represent you in this, you know, the acting agent. And guess what the best thing was? I didn't have to change location because the office was 5 minutes walk from my banking office in the city I was living in. So it was so bizarre because I'd from banking. I'd literally resigned from banking, sent all these letters out, and the agents, all the London agents had rejected me, all the other city agents. And I was in a big city, the third city in the UK. And it was 5 minutes away from the corporate office. So I started doing the background work in TV because I didn't have any experience. But because I was so committed to the purpose, to the decision, I pushed myself, okay? I was motivated. It was driving my energy and my ambition. So I said to my agent in a short space of time, put me forward for other roles. So then I got featured parts into various productions in the UK. And then I pushed myself and asked my manager, put me forward for other roles. Here's the thing. He said no. Okay. But I've had this before. I had 52 rejections before. So I was like, well, that's not going to stop me. So the next day I asked my agent again, put me forward for better roles, for a more permanent role. I can do this. No. So I did it again. I did it 13 times every single day. On the 14th time, no phone call, he rang me and said, would you like to go for an audition? I was like, yes. And this is persistency, because you've got to act as if, you've got to believe in yourself, having that confidence, because, you know, you can do this. You can reach your true greatness where anything is possible. So then I went to the audition and acted as if, you know, with all these producers and the directors, etc., interviewing me. I got the role, which was a featured role. And then because I was like, you know, having that confidence, I then landed a permanent role on a top UK TV soap without any acting experience. So that came from 52 rejections. Okay. So if I can do this, you listening out there can certainly do this. And it comes back to what we were saying, making that decision, being open and honest with yourself. Okay. Even if you've got all these fears, being open and honest with yourself to knowing what it is that you want and what that purpose is. And the confidence will come. The confidence will come.
Right. That's amazing. And I love how you stress and you emphasize that it's okay to have fear. It's okay to have some doubts, but you emphasize not staying in that. And I think that is so key for a lot of things we move forward. I think everyone thinks that just because you're doing something, you shouldn't be scared or you shouldn't have doubts. I think the most successful of us, we have doubts. Like there's some days when I'm doing the show and I'm like, is this my life right now? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? You know, really, are we doing this? And I have my own doubts, but it's just like, but yeah, I should be doing this. But yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be, you know. Yeah, this is going to be syndicated. Yes, we're going to be able to reach millions. And that is the forward thinking. It doesn't mean that I'm not like, you know, sometimes quivering in my boots and that we're doing it. But it's just like, sometimes it's like, and I love how you emphasize that, yes, it's okay to have it, but you have to have the confidence. You have to speak into existence. And I think that's another thing. Sometimes we have these great ideas and it's great to have them, but sometimes we have to speak. It's like those forward thinking affirmations. You have to speak that into existence. We have to speak that, you know what, you have the confidence, you're going to do this. And sometimes we don't, and we are missing a critical aspect of growth that I feel. And so when you look at the span of what you're doing, and I say that you're still going higher and higher and doing greater and greater things, what is your purpose and when you're helping others? Like, what drives you to spread that light and to pour into others to work to gain what you've gained, or maybe even more? Like, what drives you?
Definitely. What drives me is basically knowing what's possible. Okay, knowing what's possible, not just for me, but for everybody out there. Because I've been there where, you know, I've had a successful career. You know, it has been amazing. I've then resigned. I've then, you know, gone on to TV, acting roles, left that, gone back into banking, started my personal development journey. I've seen what is possible. And the key thing as well is it's about being around the people that are going to help you grow, that are going to help encourage you, support you. And there's a quote, a famous one, that says, you are an average of the top 5 people you spend the most time around. So, listening out there, look at your own circles. Who do you spend the most time around? Are they limiting you, disempowering you, questioning everything you want to do? Or are they encouraging your own growth? Are they, helping you, supporting you, wanting the best for you, wanting you to move forward? Because this is the key thing. When you've got that growth network and you've got that support, you can, and I strongly believe this, you can really achieve your true greatness where anything is possible. So it's about putting your mind to, what is it that you want? Having that clarity, knowing what that purpose is, and then really going for it. But then having that support in the background as well. Because with me, like you've mentioned there, I've got, I still go through, some fears, some doubts, some concerns to do with my business, to do with my work. But then I always work with coaches, with mentors, with healers, because as a coach, as a mentor, as a healer, like, one person recently asked me, but then what happens to you? And I'm human as well. I'm human as well. I get the doubts, the concerns, all of that inner fears, because I'm growing, I'm up leveling. And as I do, there's other things that come through. So I personally invest in my own personal development, work with amazing coaches, healers, and this is on a weekly basis. And they do challenge me. I do have to go outside of my comfort zone. But when you do that with the right support, you're an average of the top 5 people you spend your most time with, you can fly. You can gain those wings and you can fly high. So I really encourage you to, if you are looking for, to reach your true potential, but you're 50-50, and I call it you're on the fence, you've got that maybe mediocre lifestyle, love it, been there for so many years, but you know that you've got so much more potential. You want to fly, you want to grow, you want to do so much more. But then you could have the family, the children, the safety, the security of the monthly paycheck. I've been there, but you can do it. And the reason I know that is because anything is possible and you can do it.
That is awesome. Growth network. I may have to use that. Because, we have our people around us, but you never know what to call it. Growth network. Yeah, I'll be attributing that to you. I'll be like,
growth network.
That's amazing, because you know what? You are right. The people that are connected to you are the ones that should be able to help you grow. And if your network, your growth network is, lacking, that's why you possibly are not growing. That is such an awesome insight. And I thank you for stressing that, because sometimes we get to those levels and we still have the same people around us giving us, and feeding into the limiting beliefs that we originally had. And we're wondering why we're not getting higher. Is because those people are pulling us down.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example. Give you an example. Yes. It's like years ago, I read this book. I was gifted this book at university because I loved reading, and I'm going to name drop, if that's okay, the book, because I highly recommend this book. And you've probably read this actually. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. And the whole collection of his books are absolutely amazing. Okay. I started my personal development journey reading that book. That was my first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And from then I thought to myself, and this was before I hit my 20s, I want to own a property. I want to get into the property game. Okay. But then when I started expressing this to people around me, I'm looking to buy a property, I'm going to do multiple occupancy, having these visions and having these dreams about exactly what I wanted to do. Guess what the people around me said? They weren't filling me with encouragement. They were saying to me, oh, no, have you seen the economy? Houses are too expensive. You don't want to do that. This could happen, X, Y, Z. So it was all of the negativities. But now this is the key thing that I want you to take away. It's not the negativities about the particular thing I was talking about. It was their own inner personal insecurities coming out. So it's not necessarily about whatever I was talking about. I could have been talking about anything, investing in stocks and shares, property, shopping, whatever it was. Okay. But people will always express their own personal limitations about what it is that you're talking about. Compare compared to, and this is a big difference here, people that have started their personal development journey. And what this means is you value self-improvement. You value that you want to learn, develop, and grow. So then the difference is when I approach people in that mindset, that I started then to start hanging around those particular circles, going to networking events, and, you know, people are like-minded, you know, started their personal development journey as well, like I was. You're around those people, and even the people that weren't experienced in property, they then said to me, that sounds like a great idea. You should research it. Oh, I know somebody that's doing that. Talk to that person. Let me give you their telephone number. Let me introduce you to that person. Oh, I read an article in the newspaper about that. Didn't fully understand it, but this is the article. I'll send you a copy. I'll send you the link. These people were helping me. They weren't experienced. They didn't even know about property, and they weren't, you know, the experts. But they knew people that could be that were the experts or could have been the experts. They knew where I could go to advance myself, to learn more. And this is the difference. Are people supporting you, encouraging you, wanting the best for you, want to help you, and helping by even just introducing you to somebody, sending you to a website, you know, that they've heard something, they've listened to something, they've seen something on the TV or whatever it is, and they'll tell you about it? Or are they discouraging you by saying, the economy is really bad, oh, that's really risky, you shouldn't do that, you know, stick in your safe, secure job, you know, all of that stuff. So this is what I say. Your network is so, so important. Yeah.
That is so amazing. And I've learned that my network is so important. I know that even leveling up, even my relationship, once that leveled up and things have just opened up that I knew was possible, but because I didn't have the right support, it was never going to, it was like, God was never going to allow it to happen because I didn't have the support that was necessary for it to manifest, you know? And so I think so many times, like, we see it, we can touch it, but because we don't have the network or the proper support, he's not going to release it, because it is so critical. It is so important. It is so necessary what's being given to us, and that it needs to be taken care of. And so
definitely. And you know, another thing as well, I always believe, like I mentioned previously, about divine timing. Okay. I don't believe in like coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. So another quote, I love quotes. Another quote is, when the student is ready, that's my little earth angel, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Okay. So what this means is, when you make the decision that actually I want to learn how to invest in property, I want to learn how to advance my career or start a business, whatever it is. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Then what will happen is, because you've expressed it out to the universe, and this is manifesting, you've expressed it out to the universe, what happens then is you'll get some notification about, buy this book. And this book could be all about what it is that you want to learn. Or automatically you'll get a friend request on Facebook or LinkedIn, and this person is an expert in what it is that you want to learn. And I'll give you a live example just quickly, if I may.
Oh, sure.
I wanted to learn, thank you. I wanted to learn about astrology. I've always been interested in astrology, even before my personal development journey. I got into healing and coaching, never really delved into astrology, like the whole learning about it. I used to have a lot of astrology readings, and all of a sudden, this name kept popping up. And I got curious. So I looked into her profile, you know, researched a bit more about what it is I wanted to learn. And it just so happened that she was a sidereal the Eastern method of astrology teacher. And she had a course in March. It wasn't the right timing for me. So I've jumped on a course like literally last month. And it's been absolutely amazing, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I was interested in astrology, learning astrology, didn't really know any teachers or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, when I made that decision, I kept hearing everything about astrology all around me. Because when you tune into your desires, it's like when you focus and you think, okay, I want to have a black car. Okay, well, what black car? Okay, it could be a BMW, it could be a Mercedes, it could be a Tesla, it could be whatever. But when you focus on what it is that you want, don't you just see them everywhere? You see them everywhere.
Yes.
It's like when I decided I wanted to become pregnant, and you see pregnant women everywhere, and you're like, gosh, is everybody pregnant? because you're fixed. You know, you've got that filtering system, and you've made that decision what it is that you want, and everywhere you just see it. So this is why I believe in synchronicities, because when you make that decision, when you're open and honest to yourself, you know, you know exactly what you want. You know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And then whether it's a book, whether it's you listen to a podcast, you're listening to this podcast. So what is the divine purpose of you listening to this podcast right now? Because there's a deeper reason. You're here right now with both of us.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I just, again, I love it. And I see the beautiful little earth angels moving around. And let me tell you why the benefit of that. Let me tell you the benefit of that. So many women who are mothers right now will be sitting here watching and listening. And they're like, well, I can't do it because I have little people. And they're going to see you doing it.
Do it even more.
But they're going to see you doing it. They're seeing it. And they're like, oh, I can do it. She's able to do it. I can do it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I tell you exactly, because my earth angels have been, you know, I've been so fixated on you here watching you, but my earth angels in the background have been, I don't know how many times they've been behind me. But at one stage, one was literally like in front of me here, just listening. Yes. And this is because you're teaching them. Because the way that you are, they will become. So if you're doing all this personal development stuff, you're teaching your children as well. So you're building that legacy. And it's all about creating the legacy that you really want and you really desire.
I know. That is amazing. So the little earth angels, I love them. The smiles, the whatever. Like I said, I appreciate them allowing you your time with me, because, you know, we know how little people can be. They're like, okay, mommy is not paying attention to me right now, and I need all attention. So I get it. So as we're going to wrap up, I want you to leave us with just a word of encouragement like you would do, and then how we can connect with you on the various platforms that you may have.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave you with 6 words, if I may. Sure. 6 words. Okay. So this is a strong positive affirmation that I use personally each and every day. And it's 6 words. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I can. I will. I am. So I can, I will, I am. So anytime you're in doubt, you say to yourself, I can do this. I will do this. I am doing this. And then you charge forward and you take that inspired action, because I can, I will, I am. So ways to connect with me. Okay. You can connect with me through Facebook. So it's Sharon Sammy, Sharon with an A, Sharon Sammy. I do have a Facebook group called Anything is Possible. Okay. So it's the Manifesting Abundance Collective, where anything is possible, because I truly believe it is. So you can achieve your true greatness. So come and join the Facebook group, Anything is Possible. And I share inspiration, motivation, lots of coaching tips, healing, psychic readings, and so much more. You can also connect with me through Instagram. So I believe underneath scrolling, there's all of the links, or LinkedIn as well. So there's various platforms. But yeah, if you've got any questions about today, feel free to contact me and just to reach out to either one of us. Thank you.
Yes. Again, thank you so much, Sharon. Now, if you didn't see any of those, I will go through those. You can reach her on her website, SharonSammy.com. If you're on Instagram, you can find her at Sharon Financial Abundance Mentor. The Facebook group is Anything is Possible for You, and on LinkedIn at Sharon Sammy. Now you may say, okay, I see all of these, whatever. If you go to the website and click on the episode and her profile, you know, her link and everything, you'll find all of her information. If you just was like, I don't want to do all of that, You can message me and I will connect you with her. So don't worry about it. Like, there's many ways to make sure to connect you to her. Sharon, I thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was just an amazing treat to have you. I look forward to having you again.
Thank you.
I look forward to promoting anything that you got going on in the future. But again, this has been an amazing ride, and I appreciate you being here with your beautiful Earth Angels as well.
Thank you so much. And I do have, just as a side note, I do have a manifesting abundance program coming up. So if you are interested in that, just go to SharonSammy.com. You can have all of the details. I do have free resources as well. So I do have a gratitude ebook, which gratitude for me was the very first thing when I started my personal development journey. Just having that sense of gratitude from your heart. You can download your free gratitude ebook. It gives you 7 daily exercises to uplift your energy and help you to manifest. There's also affirmation ebooks. There's a self-love audio that you can download as well. So there's lots of resources there. So just go to SharonSammy.com and you will see all the resources there. Thank you so much.
Awesome. We want you guys to go there and check those out. And again, I thank everyone for watching on this evening. Sharon, thank you for spending your time and lending your time to just pour in to my people and your people.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. All the best.
You're welcome. So guys, did I not tell you that this season is amazing? Did I not tell you that we have some amazing women who are on here doing the thing? So if you don't think you can do it, if you think because I have children, because I have family, because I'm a caregiver, that I cannot, then you're absolutely wrong. You can. We are showing you that you can. You don't even have to listen to me or believe me. We are giving you women, amazing women who are doing the thing. So sit back, relax, pour into yourself, build that foundation, be open and honest about what you can and can't do, and manifest, grow your network, love yourself. So thank you for joining us on this evening. We'll see you next Friday at 7 p.m. Same time, same place. But have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. We're out. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Moving Past You radio show. Make sure to visit our website at www.movingpastyou.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes. If you found value in the show, rate us on iTunes or simply tell a friend about the show. And be sure to tune in next Friday for our next episode. And remember to always be kind in your word, your thought, and in your deed. Be blessed.